There are 3 serger stitches I use all the time. The first one is the 4-thread overlock. Everything threaded, all needles engaged, everything at normal settings. The next one is the 3-thread narrow overlock, which I'm going to set up for you. And then, of course, don't forget the rolled hem. Those 3 stitches, if you master those on your serger, you'll probably use those about 99% of the time. So a 3-thread narrow edge starts off by us removing the outside thread. So that's going to be my yellow thread. I'm going to just clip really close to the needle, and then I can really just remove the thread and then take the spool off the machine. Now I should remember, oh, here's my cone. Sometimes they get stuck in here, so if you're looking for your cone later, remember, it's still in there. All right, next you need to take out this needle. Now since this needle has only 1 screw at the top, what I'm going to do is loosen it, hold one, and then let the other one fall out. Now once I've taken one out, I need to make sure that this needle that I'm holding on to gets all the way back up to its highest position, and then the screw is tightened. Okay, so a 3-thread is just normal tensions, normal settings. You often do it on just a single layer of fabric. So let's just take a quick test run here. We'll do it once on a light piece of fabric. And you'll notice that it's a lot smaller seam along the edge. Well, because it's 1 needle less than what we had before. On a regular piece of fabric that I've been using, okay, once again, this is a great seam to use if you're just wanting to make sure that the edges don't unravel. Maybe you're doing a blind hem and now you're going to turn up the hem. This is the perfect edge just to go all the way around those raw edges, and then that way things don't get stringy when you start to wash them. And for you quilters, if you love to pre-wash your fabric, take your serger, set it up for a narrow 3-thread like this one, and serge the edges of both cut ends from your fabric you bought. So especially when you buy like 2 yards of fabric. Now remember, you only have to do 2 sides. The top and bottom are usually the selvage edges. Those aren't the ones that create that stringy ball of mess after you've washed and dried your fabric. But those 2 little edges here, with the overlocked seam, it is perfect. So one thing people do run into, and I'll see if we can see it a little bit, that you start to see there's a little edge or too much loops of fabric or loops of thread that are above the fabric. Now if you see this is not a tension issue. This is a cutting width issue. This is where on this front dial here, you're going to make the knife come further away from the needle and leave more fabric to be filled in. So again, the serger doesn't know what the thickness of fabric is, but when you see the difference, you actually get a little wider looking seam. So if we kind of put these together, here we go, a little closer, you can see this one looks narrower. Well, this one has more fabric and this one has less fabric. So by making the width a little bit wider, you have a nicer finished edge. So don't forget, cutting width might need to be adjusted when you're working on just a single piece of fabric for the 3-thread narrow overlock edge.